Hello everyone, it is my honor to present my research at the 8th IOHSK International Conference at the University of California, Berkeley. My name is Boung Kang from Elizabeth City State University. The title of my presentation is Professional Development for Collegiate Physical Activity Instructors, Culturally Responsive Training within the HBCU Context. In today's presentation, I want to briefly share findings from a qualitative study on professional development for physical activity instructors at an HBCU, and how culturally responsive training can serve as a lever for meaningful instructional change. Traditionally, continued professional development, or CPD, has focused on updating skills or refreshing content. But in today's educational landscape, especially within peak programs, that's no longer enough. CPD must be dynamic, reflexive, and contextually grounded. It needs to connect deeply with cultural identity, community values, and real classroom practice. This is especially critical at historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, where education, identity, and culture are powerfully intertwined. HBCUs are more than academic institutions, they are cultural anchors. They affirm black identity, build community consciousness, and nurture future leaders. HBCUs are more than academic institutions, they are cultural anchors. They affirm black identity, build community consciousness, and nurture future leaders. So professional development in these settings must go beyond content mastery. It must incorporate culturally sustaining pedagogy, critical consciousness, and transformational leadership, ensuring teaching practices are both equitable and empowering. We explored how Collegiate Pennsylvania instructors at one Southern HBCU engaged with a CPD initiative based on the sport education model, a student-centered approach that promotes teamwork, role diversity, and long-term engagement in physical activity. While promising, SE requires a significant shift in practice, letting go of traditional teacher control, and adopting more collaborative, risk-tolerant approaches. The study involved 8 instructors, split evenly between mid and late career faculty, and between team and individual sports. Female instructors were oversampled to explore gender-specific responses. 3 themes emerged. First, career stage and innovation. Mid-career instructors were more adaptable, more willing to take risks, and more open to student-led strategies. Late career instructors were initially enthusiastic, but many reverted to familiar methods over time. One said, "It's hard to change something that's worked for 20 years." Second, gendered collaboration. Female faculty found CPD to be a space for cultural solidarity and professional affirmation. They created informal support systems that encouraged innovation. Male instructors were more likely to view CPD as a requirement than a collaborative process. Third, tradition versus reform. Many instructors struggled to balance innovation with their sense of responsibility to uphold HBCU traditions. They didn't reject SE, but needed to see how it fit within a culturally grounded approach. The CPD program included 3 full-day workshops, bi-weekly peer coaching, and collaborative planning. Data were collected through classroom observations, interviews, and reflective journals. This study offered 5 key takeaways. First, cultural relevance is non-negotiable. SE gained traction only when framed as an extension of community-based learning, not a break from tradition. Second, professional identity matters. Mid-career faculty were more flexible, suggesting CPD should be tailored by career stage. Third, gendered support structures work. Female faculty leveraged peer support. Future CPD should formalize these spaces. Fourth, institutional buy-in is essential. Without administrative support, even great CPD efforts can fizzle. Fifth, more research is needed. We need to explore intersectionality and examine long-term impacts of culturally responsive CPD. For conclusion, Culturally responsive CPD isn't just a best practice, it's a necessity, especially in institutions where culture and pedagogy are inseparable. The SE model can work in HBCU settings, but only when adapted through a culturally sustaining lens, and when faculty are supported based on who they are, where they are in their careers, and what they value. Thank you for listening.